Welcome to the Saturday, November 19th, 2016 edition of the 15-Minute Drill Podcast. I'm Walter Johnson, and the second round of the Georgia High School Association State Football Playoffs is in the books. And while many teams from the Southwest Georgia Network coverage area will be moving on to play next week, or Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, other teams are done for this season, for 2016. And I'm going to go ahead and get quickly to that, starting Class 7A, where the Colquitt County Packers, after starting at 0-4, have now won 8 straight games. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, this is a team that many people wrote off after starting 0-4, but the Packers are playing their best football right now. And tonight and Friday night, November 18th, at Mackthorpe Stadium in Moultrie, Colquitt County rolled past Brookwood, the Brookwood Broncos out of Snellville, Georgia. Gwinnett County, Metro Atlanta, the final score, 66-35. Next up for the Packers, they'll be home against Grayson. They've basically been like number 1, number 2 in the state virtually all season long. And Grayson crushed Woodstock 59-27. And Grayson, Colquitt County, next week down in Moultrie, as a result of Colquitt County winning a coin flip. And just a little over half an hour ago, so around 11:30 p.m., and the Grayson Colquitt County winner will face the Mill Creek McEachin winner. Mill Creek mauled Cherokee 56-21, while McEachin down Parkview 49-27, and Lowndes. And the other team in Region 17A, keep in mind there are only 4 teams in that entire league. Moving on to the semi-quarterfinals with a 57-21 rout over Norcross at Norcross. And Lowndes scored 92 points and a 31-point win over Hillgrove, 92-61. And this week, and Lowndes puts up 57 points. And Lowndes has outscored their foes to the tune of 149 to 82, 149 to 82. If my math's correct, I think it's 149 to 82. Lowndes outscored the first 2 opponents in the playoffs. And Lowndes visits Westlake next week. And Westlake 41-7 winner over South Gwinnett. And the winner of the Westlake Lowndes game next week will face the winner of the Roswell North Cobb contest. And North Cobb ended Tift County season with a 35-7 win last week. And North Cobb moving on, rolling past Lambert by that same score, 35-7. And Roswell eliminated Peachtree Ridge with a 29-12 victory. Moving on to Class 6A. And the season is over for the Lee County Trojans, and it looked like for a while, and the Trojans from Leesburg were going to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the postseason so far. But Lee County actually led Mays 22-8 during the game. But the Raiders out of Atlanta scored 27 unanswered points the rest of the way. And final score, Mays 35, Lee County 22. And Lee County's season is over at 7-4. It really should be 8-3, but because the Georgia High School Association ruled 2 players ineligible, and one of those players played several snaps in their season opening game against Jones County in the Cookie Kill Kickoff Classic in Macon back on August 18th. They had to forfeit the win in that game. But in any case, Lee County's season ends with a 35-22 loss to Mays, and Mays will face Tucker, a 23-7 winner over Harrison. And the other teams in Region 1 6A advanced, however, and north side of Warner Robins rolled past Hughes 38-10. And north side of Warner Robins is at Glen Academy next week. Glen Academy crushed Allatoona in a rematch of last year's Class 5A state championship game, 47-7. And I think that score is backwards. I think it was Alexander losing to Coffee, 42-34, not the other way around. And I'll have to double check that. And so Coffee will go to Dalton next week, and Dalton eliminated Lovejoy 24-14. And the Valdosta Wildcats, the number one seed in Region 1 6A, as well as the number one team in the state, crushed Northgate out of Noonan, Georgia, 35-0 the final score. And Valdosta will be at home against Stevenson next week, and Stevenson downed Decula and a mild upset, 20-6. Stevenson, number 3 seed out of Region 4 6A and Region 1 5A. And the season is over for the Region 1 5A champion Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets, as Carrollton, with just one loss in the season, and improved to 11-1 the season with a 41-14 win over the Yellow Jackets at the Jackets' Nest. Buford will face Carrollton, and Buford rolled past Jones County, 56-26 the final score. And mentioned Lee County playing Jones County in the Corky Kell Kickoff Classic earlier. So it'll be Carrollton and Buford next week, and that game will be played at Buford. And the Bainbridge Bearcats season also came to an end, and the Bearcats were blown out up in northwest Georgia to Rome, and Rome rolled to a 45-0 shutout win. And Rome will face Ware County next week. And the Gators rolled past Loganville 35-19. Ware County and Rome, it'll be southeast Georgia versus northwest Georgia next week. And the season is over for both Thomas County Central and Bainbridge. And moving right along to Class 4A. And the Cairo Syrup Makers jumped out to a 10-0 lead over Sandy Creek out of Tyrone, Georgia. And right on the Fayette-Coweta County line. And Peachtree City's not too far from there. And Sandy Creek scored a touchdown to make things interesting down the stretch. But in the end, it was the Cairo Syrup Makers picking up the victory over the Sandy Creek Patriots. 10-7 the final score. Cairo wins. And the Syrup Makers also win a coin flip. And they'll host Jefferson next week. And Jefferson pitched a shutout over West Lawrence in Dexter, Georgia. This is near Dublin, just west of Dublin. And Jefferson with the victory, 21-0 over West Lawrence. So Jefferson will come all the way down to southwest Georgia to take on the Cairo Syrup Makers next week. And the only other Region 1 4A team that was still in the state playoffs coming into Friday night's action were the Carver Columbus Tigers. And the season is over for Carver of Columbus as the Tigers lose to Blessed Trinity of Atlanta in a heartbreaker. Final score, Blessed Trinity 21, Carver Columbus 17. Next up for Blessed Trinity, quarterfinal date against Mary Persons out of Forsyth, Georgia, just northwest of Macon. And Mary Persons advanced with a 38-21 victory over Heritage of Catoosa County in northwest Georgia. And the winner of the Cairo Jefferson game will face the winner of the Spalding-Thompson game. And Thompson, who rolled all over American Sumter last week, 57-23, and took down West Hall 42-14, while Spalding defeated Ridgeland 38-21. And Whitworth Academy, a 49-8 winner over Northwest Whitfield. And Whitworth Academy will face Cartersville, 35-7 winner over Burke County. And Burke County blew away north side of Columbus last week, 55-20. And going to move right along to Class AAA. The Crisp County Cougars used a late touchdown and made extra point with just 37 seconds to play to edge Lovett out of Atlanta, 30-29. And the Cougars are now 11-0 on the season. An amazing season so far for head coach Shelton Felton and the Crisp County Cougars. And they'll face the Pierce County Bears from southeast Georgia and Blackshear, Georgia, just northeast of Waycross. And Pierce County advanced with a 49-27 victory over Bremen up in West Georgia. And the winner of the Pierce Crisp game will face the winner of the Calhoun Cedar Grove game. Calhoun advanced with a 41-20 victory over Jackson, while Cedar Grove held Jenkins of Savannah to a field goal in a 28-3 upset win. And ironically, Jenkins of Savannah was the team that ended the season for the Darty Trojans out of Albany and head coach Corey Joyer in a 41-14 victory last week. And in Cedar Grove put an end to Jenkins of Savannah's season with a 28-3 victory. And the only other team out of Region 1 AAA saw their season come to an end as the Worth County Rams fell on the road to Greater Atlanta Christian School in Gwinnett County, in Norcross, Georgia. Final score 34-21. Rams season ends at 7-5. And moving on to Class AA really quickly, the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes will move on as they roll past Rockmart, 48-21 the final score. And Fitzgerald won a coin flip against Raven County. And the Purple Hurricanes will be home against Raven County next week. Way up in the Northeast Georgia Mountains. And Raven County rolled all over Vidalia, 42-7. And the last remaining Region 1 AA team in the playoffs, the Berks County Trojans, fell in Hogansville, Georgia, and just southwest of Atlanta, about some 50-plus miles or so southwest of Atlanta, fell to Callaway, 28-14 the final score. Brooks County wraps up its 2016 campaign at 8-4 overall, and Brooks County out of Quitman, Georgia, falling 28-14 to Callaway. And Callaway will face Scriven County, and Scriven County knocked off Douglas of Atlanta. Scriven County outlasted Douglas of Atlanta 20-14. And finally, in Class Single A, and the season is over for the Mitchell County Eagles, as Clinch County crushed the Eagles 54-12. And the season is over for the Region 1 Single A champion Pelham Hornets, and they fall at home to Greene County 55-40. And Miller County season ended losing to ECI, Emmanuel County Institute, 49-14. And Irwin County will face ECI, and Irwin County defeated Mount Zion of Carroll 34-17. And that's going to end this edition of the 15-Minute Drill Podcast. Remember to follow on Twitter, SWGA Network. I'm Walter Johnson. Have a good weekend. Thanks for listening.